it can go. It just goes on and on.
What would you like to see happen to the people who push this? Or would you like to see a government inquiry into?
Like at least so we know what we have put in us, a cure or something, like they haven't, all these years they don't have any cures for certain cancers and AIDS, but yet they came up with one within a year for this, but we were forced to do it. And our kids, they should never have been made to, no one should have. But, fucking oath. I'd love to. There's a payout or something, but you can't put a price on health. And when you don't know your own body and what it can do anymore, and I'm nearly 50, and I knew exactly how far I could push myself. Now I don't. And my kid being a teenager, well, they push the limits. Kids are invincible, but now I'm forever, I'm worried about, I brought her a van so she can do her road trips and stuff, and now I'm asking her to stay close to town, because if anything happens, fucking getting her to a hospital, it's, fucking oath I'd like to see him pay.
So we're in Geraldton. What's your name?
Emily Burke.
Now we've got the thing with you and your daughter. Let's start with the story of your daughter first, and then get to you. Tell us what's been happening with your daughter.
Okay. She wanted to be a nurse. She was told that she had to have these jabs.
When she said she wanted to be, is it just a liking, or she's one of these nurses that just feels compelled to be a nurse?
Well, her grandparents were, her nana was a nurse for years and her whole life. And
so it's in her blood?
Yeah, isn't now, though.
So what happened?
One of the things that got me was they were training them to not believe in conspiracies.
And training them not to believe in conspiracies.
They were saying to them not to believe in conspiracies, to pretty much stick with what they were saying. And anyway, they were pushing the jabs onto them. Yeah. She had I tried talking her out of it. She had her first. We had our first, we had our second. And on the second one, I ended up in hospital. But I didn't know that she had it as well, because she was pushed into having her booster and she knew I was against it. But the TAFE had pushed her into doing a booster, and she did, and she ended up in hospital with full-on chest pains, couldn't breathe, holding her chest, the whole lot.
How old is she?
Well, then she was 17. Yeah, 17.
17. Now, has she had heart issues before?
No.
She's gone from having no heart issues to in hospital with maybe on the verge of a heart attack.
Well, they're saying she went and did a medical. Her heart rate was off the chart in the medical. They lost count after 201. And we've just got the results back, and apparently what it was she's got it's like heart palpitations that can't be controlled, apparently. So apparently that's just what her heart is going to do. It's just going to go into rapid beats whenever...
It's called tachycardia?
No.
Is that something else?
Yeah, no, they said something else. I asked her for the paperwork, so trying to get the doctors to actually write it down. But virtually they said that she's got, that it's going to be an ongoing thing for her heart. It's just going to, 1 minute she'll be fine, And then next thing...
They're telling her just to get ready, this is normal now.
Yeah, no medication, no nothing, that this is just the way her body is. So she used to go to the gym like 5-6 times a night. She would finish work and then go to the gym at like either midnight, whenever she could. She would ride, she would take the dogs for rides, very energetic, and now she can't even really ride a push bike without massive chest pains. She had to cancel her gym membership, which costed her, which she was spewing about, but she can't do it. She can't get her heart rate up too far, otherwise it just, and they're saying it's nothing.
It's nothing?
Pretty well much.
How are you feeling as a mum with that? I mean, you must be furious.
It took us so many doctors to get a doctor that's looking into it. Like, they were... As soon as you said anything about the jabs, they just didn't want to know you. So we finally got a doctor that's actually trying to chase down our paperwork and our results and all that, which has been like, I think we're up to our 3rd week now. He's been trying to get it. So as a mum, watching my girl who's just started her life, it's horrible. It's horrible. She can't do... There was a lot of things, because she's got scoliosis, there was a lot of things she couldn't do.
Is that why she was exercising so much, to sort of be strengthened?
Yeah.
So she's been dealing with her problems.
Yeah, and now she's got to be careful what she does, because they haven't got any answers. We've got a doctor that's trying his best to help us. We've only just started seeing him, and he believes in what's happening, so we're just...
What about yourself? What have you've also been in hospital?
Over 14 times.
What?
Yeah.
Why? What's the symptoms?
My chest starts, it gets really tight, then it starts...
Let's just go back a bit. Why did you take it? Did you for your job, or did you want to take it?
I was told that I'd be sacked if I didn't take it. And
what was your job?
I was working for NDIS as a private carer, and I was sacked an hour and a half after taking my second one, so because of the chest pains. But yeah.
I'm sorry, they sacked you because of the chest pains?
Yeah, well, my employer did, because of... Yeah, but I was told if I didn't get the jabs, and I weighed things up because my daughter, she was adamant because she had to do it for TAFE. And it was like, so I would have thrown that job, but my daughter was like, she wanted to be a nurse, and this was it.
You did out of love?
I went first, and the first one seemed fine. The second one got me, but I had no idea that she had gone off and had the booster. And when I confronted the people, which was down at the old chemist, Fountains Pharmacy, they had a walk-in jab place there. I confronted them about it because she ended up in hospital with heart issues, and they took 40 minutes to get back to me because they had to Google the legal age limit, which apparently was 16. So when I went back up there, it was shut down, but yeah. So
tell us about your time in hospital. What have they said? What have they come back with?
The last time I went, which was 2 weeks ago on a Friday, my boss had to drive me in. I couldn't stop the pains.
What's the pain like? Is it sharp or crushing?
Yeah, it's sharp, and it's just like sharp stabs. Sometimes it feels like a band that's getting tighter, that's about to snap.
Do you actually fear that maybe this time I'm going to die?
Yeah.
Does that play on you? I mean, you're constantly sitting there thinking...
Yeah, because you just don't know. I've gone from... I was first female on an asphalt team. I was on a shovel and a pick, sometimes 6 days a week, and going to the gym with my kid.
So you're super fit?
Was. Now I can't even raise a shovel too many times. Now I had to buy a stick vacuum so I can vacuum. because I can't. There's a lot of jobs that I'm running out of. I went up to the hospital. There was a whole room full of people that had the same thing as me that day. It was amazing. It was
So the whole hospital was full of people like you?
just my room. There was about 6 to maybe 8 people in my room.
This is a small town, really.
And they all had heart issues, and I watched the nurse go round and give one tramadol, one aspirin, one... Apparently we all had an anxiety attack or something. There was 5 or 6 of us in that one room. And apparently, like, as I was watching the nurse go round, they were all like, yeah, she's just given them aspirin or this or that. The doctors gave me an anti-anxiety pill and
Do you have...
aspirin.
Can I ask you straight? You got a brain, you can tell that. Do you have anxiety?
Now I do.
I know you have anxiety because of it, but you think you're going to die, so you're pretty anxious. But do you think anxiety is the driving force?
No, not at all. Look, not at all. This is totally, you can feel it, and I can feel it coming on.
What can you feel?
You can feel the pains in your chest, and you know sometimes it goes away, but it's the tightness and the stabbing effect. And the only way I can describe it is it can go for days, this tight band across that runs through your heart, and it just feels like dental floss, and it's just getting tighter and tighter. And it just, if you don't, like, you got to go outside and breathe and fresh air and all that. They've given me a spray now, which I've got to sit down and spray and then go to hospital, because the last attack, which was 2 weeks ago on a Friday, my heart rate was 197, and they said that I was on the verge of a stroke or a heart attack, but then they said it was anxiety, so they gave me...
When they say anxiety, do you want to lose your temper?
No, because then they don't help you.
Yeah.
You got to be careful what you say and who you say it to, otherwise you don't get any help. And if it's not for me, it's for my kid. So, like, I don't...
You're worried that suddenly your daughter might end up without a mother?
I worry about losing my kid. That's... So, she seems to be doing better, but it's just the attacks, they just come out of the blue. Like, you just... One minute you can be fine and you can be having drinks with your friends and having a great time, and then all of a sudden it just... And you never know when it's going to come on. Generally, if I get this tight band feeling, I know that I've got to take it easy for a few days. So that's just, sitting down, eating a lot of beetroot. Like, a lot of beetroot.
How's she coping mentally, spiritually?
Well, she's a teenager, so she's, at that stage where invincible, But we found a doctor that's, that's actually listening and trying to find all our results, because we've done the echos and all that. And then, and then paying for all that as well.
So you got to pay for it all?
This doctor now I don't, but my last doctor, yeah. I think my echo was $500, and then I got him to do the Medicare rebate, but they don't tell you about that. All she had to do was tick a square, and it would have been bulk billed. But the MRIs are up there, but apparently... the one at the Dalton Hospital hasn't been working for like 3 months, so you've got to go to St John's, which you got to pay for that one, or you got to go to Perth. It's
you got to get to Perth.
Yeah, it's just a ongoing thing that just keeps.
Are you feeling like you've been violated by the state?
Oh shit yeah. Like what? My daughter couldn't do nursing if she didn't have them. I couldn't keep my job if I didn't. And, like, look at us now. Everyone that didn't have them can go back to work, and the ones that did have them can't even hold a job. So we've gone from being super fit, and my daughter and I were super close. We are super close, and that was our thing, gyms and... you know, like always travelling, always camping. Now I'm too scared to go down any backtracks just in case we can't get up to the hospital in time, because you just never know when this attack's going to come on. And it gives me anxiety. It gives me... So, like, now they're saying it's anxiety, and it's like, well, of course it is. Like...
I've got a time bomb in me.
Yeah. And you hear all the time, like, there's so many people that are going through this. And it's the same thing. It's just the same thing, except they don't know if it's the swelling in the heart or around the heart. It's, you know, if it's in the heart, then pretty well much you're just waiting for it to explode. And if it's around the heart, I was told that they were doing 3 months of ibuprofen to take the swelling down of the heart. And but once the people were doing 3 months of being doused with that, you know, like what's left of the rest of their body, their kidneys, their lungs, their liver, like, you know, it's, if you don't wreck one thing, you wreck another. Now, like I said to my daughter, we don't even know what our bodies can do now. Like, it's we don't know what we can handle. Like, we don't know how far we can push ourselves. It's totally fucked. We've gone from being super fit, pushing the limits, first female to make it onto the asphalt team, and now I can't even, like, do my own backyard. And just the simple things. My mum, she brought me a stick vacuum just because having the backpack, I just don't know anymore.